Hey family, it's Evelyn and I am back with another video in my Single Saturdays series. I hope that you have been enjoying this series during Vlogmas, and you'll have to let me know if this is something that you want me to continue as we go into the new year. But anyway, I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about why I don't want any more dating advice, okay? And let me tell you, it's not because I think dating advice is bad. And it's not because I think that there's no value in dating advice. I actually think there's a lot of value in advice about dating and courtship and all of that kind of stuff. I actually think there's an abundance of it, right? And that is why I don't want no more, okay? I feel like the world, the church, people have done a really good job at teaching us how to date. Yet the divorce rate is still higher than ever. So then my question became, I was like, it came to me one day, follow me, I'm going somewhere with this. I think that putting all the focus on teaching people how to date is like sending somebody to college for 4 years and only teaching them how to interview for the job versus teaching them what it will take to be successful on the job. And so I feel like if you study what it would take to be successful on the job, the dating advice will make more sense, and also the way you date will change. Like, for example, you know, when you know a job really well and you went on a job interview, you already knew what to say. You already knew kind of what they were looking for because you knew what the job took you on, and then you knew what you were looking for, right? Because you knew, like, okay, if they want me to do this, well, that's gonna require this and this and that and that and that, right? Because you were knowledgeable about it, okay? Because you understood the job, so the interview came easy. When interviews are difficult is when you don't really know about the job, you don't really know if you're qualified for the job, you don't really know what the requirements are for the job, you don't know. And so the interviews become hit or miss, and you don't know if it was really good, and you really don't know, particularly people who don't write good job descriptions. Anyway, this is not a career video. Let me get back to the point. So I feel like dating advice is really, really good. I just feel like it's given disproportionate to marital advice. I don't know if there's a lot of marriage advice for singles that's not dating advice. Does that make sense? And so I remember earlier this year I had a meeting with my pastor and I wrote a whole curriculum about it, which my church is now doing a series of Bible studies and classes on it and all that kind of stuff, because I was like, I went down the path of, I wanted to learn about marriage, right? So my parents got divorced after, I think it was 15 or 17 years, somewhere in there. And I remember when I was in college, a lot of people's parents were getting divorced. People that I have gone to college with have gotten married and divorced since then. I think a lot of people are very fearful of marriage. And so I decided, I was like, you know what, let me study marriage. I think it's interesting that we will study for a career. We will study to learn how to drive. We will study how to have a YouTube channel. We will study how to do our own hair and do all this. But this huge commitment that's supposed to be for a lifetime, we don't study. We study how to interview for it, aka dating and courtship, but we don't study the work that it takes to be married. And here's the thing, I think the information is readily available to us. I think couples who have been married, 20, 30, 40, 50 years have shared their wisdom. I think there's books, I think there's courses and classes. It's just ironically, those are only marketed to people who have already made the commitment, which I think is great. I think it's fantastic. I think you always need to be growing and improving. However, if this is something I want to sign up for, I need to know what the requirements are. Like, you don't go interviewing for a job and you're not really sure on what the requirements are. Or maybe you do, and then you realize that the requirements were way more than you thought, and you were like, oh, I didn't know that this is what I signed up for. I think that's what happens in marriage. I don't know, my married people, let me know, right? And then you have to just decide if you want to say, like, let me tell you, I was working for a company once and I was really excited about the position. And when I got inside of the company, they had all of these requirements around your time and your schedule and how you had to work and weekends and days and nights and how you could take, I mean, it was just like nothing I had ever seen. And I was like, this is so stringent and restrictive, and I was like, my life doesn't allow for me to meet these expectations. And so I ended up leaving that job because once I realized what it really took, I realized that I wasn't able and or willing to do that, to be successful in that role, and that it was always going to be a tug of war about my time. One of the things I had to ask myself when I started studying marriage as a single person is it made me ask myself the question, ooh, now that I have a little bit more knowledge, I won't say wisdom because I'm not married obviously and I haven't lived it, but a knowledge about what it takes to be successful in marriage, I had to ask myself the question, do I really want to be married? I came to the answer, which is yes, but it's a informed yes versus a fantasy yes. And so my question is, if you're single and you want to be married, are you studying marriage? Or are you studying dating? Are you studying how to interview for the job? Or are you studying to understand the work that is required? So anyway, that's it for today's Single Saturday video. If you have not registered for the Best Life Challenge or for the How to Create a Vision Board That Actually Works workshop, all the links to register for that are in the description box below. I would love to have you in there and share with you all of the things about the Best Life Challenge and get the free guide of all the things that I'm going to be doing in 2019. And then also the How to Create a Vision Board That Actually Works workshop. So if you would like to participate in those, or if you're watching at a later date, you absolutely can still register and get those things and watch the replay. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next video. Peace.